Hello again, YouTube. Today, I want to talk about my process for learning new species. But first, some context. Why am I even talking about this? Why do I want to improve my species identification skills? I'm not sure if I mentioned this in a previous video, but I am what is referred to as a Virginia Master Naturalist, or VMN. As part of this role, I perform volunteer work to benefit the environment of the Commonwealth of Virginia. Before I became a VMN member, I went through some basic training to learn about environmental concerns and also information about identifying species to make me more effective in my volunteer pursuits. However, over time, as I've added additional responsibilities to my plate, I feel like I've lost a bit of touch with species identification and have become quite rusty in that respect, which is why I decided to recently start a weekly endeavor to improve those skills again. What I decided to do is every week identify a species that I will learn more about during the time that I spend outdoors. I might see some species, take a picture of it, upload it to iNaturalist and find out what it is. And then throughout that week, every morning, as part of my morning routine, I will review the notes I've taken on that species. So you can see here in Evernote the note that I'm using for this purpose, the template I have every time I identify or I choose a new species to identify. This week, and I actually just chose this species yesterday, is red fox. And so usually what I'll do is once I find it, I'll upload information on it to iNaturalist. I'll record some information here about the species, and then I'll just put in my thoughts about what the species is, where it lives, and then how it interacts with its environment, and also how humans have interacted with that species over time. And importantly, what I do is identify a resource that I want to review to learn more about that species. In the past, I found that when I was trying to learn species, I would just try to visually remember, when I see something that looks blue and has these certain characteristics, it's a bluebird. Now, bluebird's pretty easy, but more generally, that's not the best approach, because I find that I forget the name for the species when I try that. My theory is that by learning a little bit more about it and its context, I will better be able to remember its name, which often when you're talking with people, they just want to know what the species is and maybe some facts about it. So it should help me when talking to people about the environment, and then also in volunteer pursuits, like if I need to know what a particular plant is or a particular animal is, it should help me with that. And so far, if I scroll down, see this is fairly new. I have 10 species. I'm working on my 10th species so far, so that's 10 weeks, a little over 2 months. So I'm still new to this, but hopefully this will be something that will help me recognize these species. I'll only know once I start recognizing the ones I was working on early on. I'm like, oh yeah, I really do remember these. So we'll see. Thank you all for checking this out. Hope this was interesting. I think this is applicable not just to identifying species, but also to acquiring knowledge and skills more generally. The idea of spaced repetition and also going deep into an area, because if you go shallow, I heard it said before that if you only know a little bit about something, what you can say about that is even less than what you know. But if you know a breadth of information about something, then when you speak, you're able to pull little bits to say something that's a little more substantive. So that's what I'm hoping will happen here. But anyways, hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I look forward to seeing you in another video.